listen, we're about to get started, y'all. And listen, we got a powerhouse line up with 3 different speakers tonight, switching some things up. Super excited. We're going to get right into training. So, y'all know we're going to be bringing up our coach. If y'all don't know it just yet, I'm telling you, she and Chris are on a tear right now to be able to build a big base shop, promote regional vice presidents, and the vision is very clear, willing to make it happen. All right, knocking on the door of $300,000 a year by this time next year, doing what it takes to build us as we need to. Again, she can see most of y'all, but if y'all can take yourself off mute, give a round of applause to the one and only future Senior Vice President, Coach Geli. Let's go, Coach. Come on.
Thank you, Taylor, and thank you for all of the hard work on making these presentations, pulling them all together and making them as smooth as they are so we can share in a way that is beneficial to everybody. So excited to have everybody on tonight. The focus is growth, right? That is the focus. We've got big goals for this month. We've all got big goals. And, you know, we're at the beginning of the school year. We're going to see numbers ebb and flow, but just know that some of the best months of the year for production are September and March. And so we know that we're going to have a massive month this month. We're just getting started a little slow. People are so wiped out from August, you know, we're tiptoeing into September, but we are now halfway through the month and absolutely ready to get after it. So what I'm going to talk about is how to grow your business, how to move through to the next, whatever the next goal is for you, right? Excuse me. If it's to get to that district leader promotion tree for you, right? Ty, for you. If it is to, hey, Eloy, nice to see you on. If it is to get that regional leader promotion, the division promotion, or ultimately to regional vice president, we know that to grow, we're going to have to recruit, train, and develop people. And that's the key to the business, right? We do a lot of training on the FNA and how the FNA works. And for those of you that aren't sure, on Friday at noon Central, 1 Eastern, we do have FNA Friday. And we've been every single week digging deep. So if that's something that you want to really do as a financial coach, please plug into that. For those of you who are like, hey, you know what? The FNA is great. What we do is amazing. But what I want to do is grow a big freaking business. This is your meeting for today, right? And I'm excited. And so we're going to go through and talk about recruiting, why we recruit. And then I'm going to have Joe go through the numbers. And why are we having Joe go through the numbers? Because Joe's been doing the numbers. So when you're doing the numbers and you're seeing some of the results, right, then we want to be able to see exactly how it works. Because sometimes I'll have people that will get started and you know, we'll go recruit somebody in their training and that person might not stick. And they're like, oh, well, it doesn't work because I recruited one person. We're going to talk about why that happens, how it happens, and why the law of large numbers is key to recruiting. So why do we recruit? Denise, we recruit because had we not been in the recruiting business, I would have never met you, right? You came through somebody who was being trained through somebody that I recruited. And a lot of these long-term relationships, right? A lot of the people that are in your business that will be a impact player in your business, Joe. A lot of those people are going to come from people that you've recruited who they've recruited. They might not all be your personal agent, right? You may not have directly recruited them, but they may be the first RVP on your team. So let's talk about why we focus on recruiting. Number one, to compress time frames to build your business. If you guys are looking at this as an actual business, you don't want it to take 30 years when it could take 30 months. right, Courtney? You don't want to tell your story 27 years later of here's why I am a regional vice president like I got to. You don't have to do that. You can get it figured out in the first 2 years and make it happen, right? And then you get to tell your story and sell people the dream why they can do it fast as well. Number two, new recruits lead to hot or warm market referrals. What does that mean? You know, a lot of people ask, well, what's going to happen if I talk to everybody that I know, then who do I talk to? Then I have to go door knocking? No, we don't want to go door knocking. Now, is it possible that you're going to have to network a little bit, Aloyet? Is it possible that you're going to have to stretch and talk to people maybe that you don't know? Well, of course. But the goal is to get them to lead you to people that they know. And then you have almost immediate credibility, which is huge. So new recruits lead to other market referrals, right? Hot and warm market referrals. Number three, field training new recruits will create consistent income. The goal for most of us, we know we've got 5 steps. Number one is what? Team of Destiny, 5 steps in business.
Get started.
Number one is getting started. What's number two?
Become a field trainer.
Becoming a field trainer. Field training new people in the business, new associates in the business is what's going to help you create consistent income. If you're struggling right now, if you're like, you know what? I need to go out and make some sales and help some people. That's great. And we do need to do that. But today I sat down with Naomi and the person that we met with, and which is an awesome story in itself, but who we met with, we sat down with another single mother, and through the connection with Naomi, right, we were meeting with this other person and changing her life. And we started the close. We're going to be wrapping it up on Thursday, doing Naomi's first training close, which is exciting. But I would have never met that person if it wasn't for Naomi. Right? So we field train new people in their market. And as field trainers, as the brand new associates, they're not licensed yet. So they can't go out and make money yet. But Sean, because you're a field trainer, you can. Number 4, the fastest way to create a passive income is through overrides. We know that, right? We know that. We know what that means. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. So number 1, compressing time frames through distribution. If you were out there on your own, right? Distribution leverages your time. By yourself, you only have 168 hours a week. That's all you got. You can't make more. But what you can do is you can recruit, train, and develop other agents that are looking to make additional income. Maybe they're looking to make part-time income. Maybe they're looking to make a career change. But if you've got 10 licensed teammates on your team that are out there working part-time hours, 10 to 20 hours a week, that's 100 to 200 hours a week that once they're licensed and independent, you don't have to be there anymore. You just get to be there as a support. What's your business gonna look like when you've got 10 teammates that are out there getting after it, Joe, doing exactly what you're doing? Right? Demoral and Erica, what's 10 teammates on your team going to look like for your business? Here's what I'm going to tell you. Getting new teammates will solve any challenges that you have. Erica, if you guys struggle at all with attitude challenges or activity challenges or income challenges in any way, all you got to do is have a handful of new teammates, and we get excited because we know they're going to be on the training. And so we see it from a different perspective, you guys. We see it from different eyes. Because it's not just, oh, here's Geli talking about that for the 14th time. Right, Tree? What it is, oh, my new guy gets to see what she talked about for the 14th time, but they're going to see it in a whole new way. It definitely solves any challenges that you have. So let's talk about recruiting, keeping you in the warm market. So we know our goal is we're not in the business of recruiting to make money, you guys. How much money do you make by recruiting a person? How much does Primerica pay you because you did an
Zero.
IBA? Zero. We don't make money by recruiting people. The way that we increase our income, Erica, you know that, is through developing people, through training people, helping them become successful, right? And so our people say, well, of course you're gonna, right? You're gonna tell me I should show up in a meeting because you want me to. Well, of course I want you to. If you don't show up, you're not gonna win. When you show up, there's a greater opportunity for you to win. I want you to win. I showed up at meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. I remember doing op nights, which was this literally tree. It was the same meeting every single Tuesday for like 10 years, maybe done by different people, but it was the same thing. And I remember the first like couple years seeing it going, well, I don't want to go. It's just the same thing. And then you bring your first person and you're like, I hope he does it this way. I hope he says this. I hope, right? And then the first time I remember they asked me to do a part of the meeting and I was in Dennis's office. I was up there and I was nervous and thinking like, I can't do that. And then I start talking and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I knew all that stuff. But we know repetition is the mother of learning. I started saying things. I was saying right 25 times because Dennis did that. And that's what I heard. Right. Oh goodness, I still do that. Recruiting and developing others gives you the opportunity to field train. The law of large numbers will work in your favor in the warm market. The law of large numbers. So we know we're going to talk about those numbers. And I honestly love the numbers business, because what it tells me, Sean, it tells me that if we fall in love with the numbers, that even if we're not amazing like I was in the beginning, I wasn't great at this business. I knew if I did the numbers, Taylor, the numbers were eventually going to work. Right? They're eventually going to work. It's got to come full circle. Field training offers the greatest management compensation opportunities. So as a field trainer, you're going to serve as the licensed agent on every life close while your new recruit earns their field training bonus. So what is our goal, you guys? What is our goal when we're training people? Where do we want to get them to in training?
We want them to become a district leader.
We want them to become a district leader. What do we got to do to get them to become a district leader?
I know it's not just me on here, so I'll let somebody else answer.
Somebody
I feel
answer.
like,
What do we?
I feel like I'm
Go
about to
ahead.
win a prize, y'all.
6 by
3 by 3.
6,000.
Thank you.
Ooh, 3
Thank
by 3,
you.
6 by
I
6.
love
I know
that,
that's right.
Sean. Yeah, that's
I know that's
awesome.
right.
6 by 6 is maxing it out. 3 by 3 to get to a district leader, though, that's like going 45 and a 60, right? You want to go do 6 by 6, that's amazing, but get into that 3 by 3. Either way, what we know is that when we are field training, we need to make sure that we are helping that newest person grow their team. And we also need to get in the field and have them observe life insurance transactions so we can make this business real. They need to see that it's possible, which means we have to close business.
Mm-hmm.
And that means they're not licensed yet, Sean, but you are. So who's going to end up getting that close and teaching them the business? We teach them through doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You, right? The field
Yep,
trainer.
Field
absolutely.
trainer.
And while you're doing that, what are we teaching them? We're selling them the freaking vision as to why they want to be a field trainer. Because then they don't have to reach out to all their people all the time. They're going to train and develop through the newest recruits in their warm market. That is the system, you guys. There's a system for a reason. So recruiting big leads to overrides and ownership. Who wants ownership?
Me,
He definitely.
for sure.
Absolutely. You want overrides and ownership. Because we know overrides is the comp. It's the difference, Courtney, it's the difference in the compensation. If you become a district leader and you have somebody on your team who's a senior rep, there's a 15% difference between 35% and 50. So if somebody at a 35% goes and writes business, you have an override of that 15%. If it's $1,000 life insurance, that's 150 bucks. What's the best 150 bucks to get is the one you didn't have to do anything to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Joe, you know you're doing stuff on the front end. You've been working with your team, building, trying to get them to where they need to be, right? So we're working now. It's crazy. The thing about Primerica, people will say in the beginning, you know, why are you all working all the time? Why are you working all the time? You making $1 million yet? And then at the point when you're making good income, people are like, what, don't you ever work?
I'm trying to get
People
there.
are going to give you crap both ways. But if we never get to that point where we're on the end, where we're seeing, like, we've got to get through the rough stuff, we've got to get through the stress, we've got to get through the training all the people and helping to motivate and move them through the system before they're going to be independent, competent field trainers. Okay? The most successful people are the ones who bring people to meetings and build a big team. Building big is a mindset. It's an all the time thing. Focus on prospecting for new teammates and successful follow. Jim Penn, $1 million earner. I think you might know what he's talking about. Now, for those of you who are here and it's just you, you might say, well, what do I do now? Well, the fact that you're on the meeting is huge because this is where we learn, right? This is where we learn. This is our team right now. All right. People join Primerica because they see a chance to have a better life, better income, and a better opportunity to help others. That's why they join Primerica. A chance to have a better life. What does that look like for you? What does your better life look like? Sometimes when we're following up with people, right, Ty, we're following up with people and we feel like, oh, I'm bothering them or whatever it is. They just don't know yet the life that you're going to provide them for, the life that you are going to help them get. They don't know. But we've got to get there and then pull other people there with us. So when they see that you are a better person today than maybe you were 6 months ago prior to being in Primerica, or maybe you're a different person, a changed person than you were 2 years ago, they're going to want to know what you had. What did you do to get there? Can you take me there as well? There are people that I talked to early on in the business before I saw success. Oh, we'll talk to you when you're seeing, we'll see how it goes for you. Right? We'll see how it goes for you, Taylor. And then a couple years later, you're kicking butt and taking names and they're like, oh, well, I don't know. You just have you have all it takes. You're good at this kind of thing, right? Yep. People don't see the journey when you go from bad to okay. We've got to find people that are willing to get after it. We've got to find, instead of trying to motivate people, we got to find motivated people. And how do we do that? We do that through the law of large numbers. So let's talk about that. So if we want to focus on recruiting, how do we do that? Where do we go? I know a handful of you on here go to the gym. If you go to the gym, you're seeing people on a regular basis, right? And you could actually talk to some of those people. That's called prospecting. You might go to the grocery store and go through the same checkout line every time because you like this person. You can talk to them. Maybe they're laying in bed at night praying for an opportunity, praying for somebody to talk to them. So how do we prospect? There's multiple ways. Number one, warm market. With warm market, the technique is not important, right? What is a warm market? Courtney, warm market is you talking to your closest friends and scheduling appointments. Even if all you're saying is, hey, I need your help to schedule a training appointment. That's key. Now you might say, Abby did it the other day, right? You might be nervous to talk to somebody in your warm market about the business for whatever reason. So you might say, hey, my friend runs a business and they're looking for people, right? I know you're looking to make additional income. And then what do, Ty? You might not sell it that it's you, but you might introduce them to Taylor. And then Taylor does an interview. But you can talk to people in your warm market, people that you have credibility with. Okay. Number 2, acquaintance and referral market. Acquaintance and referral market. What is that? Who are those people? That might be your neighbor. You take out your garbage. When they take out their garbage, you wave, right? How do you talk to them about business? The key is questions. In this case, it says technique is important. With an acquaintance market, the key is to ask questions, right? So what do we say? Hey, I see you out here taking out the garbage at 10 a.m. Are you working from home now? Right? There are so many things that you can talk to your coach, right? We'll talk about what that looks like. Remember, communication, 55% body language, 38% tonality. Only 7% is what you say. So the key, especially when it comes to acquaintance and referral market, with an acquaintance market, or maybe your kids play sports with their kids, your kids go to school with their kids, so you see each other now and then. That is where technique is important, but the most important part is your excitement. It is your enthusiasm. If you walk up to somebody, Tree, that you maybe have seen a couple times, and you want to talk to them about a business or an opportunity, you're not going to walk up to them and go, well, how have you been? My life sucks. Right? We know that's not how you are because we see what you're doing. You're going to walk up and say, oh my gosh, I want to talk to you about, you seem like this type of person who, whatever it is, but have excitement. You seem like the type of person who is always looking for an opportunity. Is that true? You seem like the type of person maybe who's money motivated. You seem like the type of person who likes to make an impact. Erica, I'm sure if you're ever at the school, you're volunteering or doing whatever you're doing, you're going to see other people there. You're going to see other moms there. And if they're during the day volunteering, when they could be taking time away from their kids, that is a great opportunity to say, you seem like the type of person who really likes to help people. What have you done outside of this? Do you work outside of the home? Have you ever thought of doing anything else? Just asking questions is key. But doing it with excitement, enthusiasm, a smile on your face, positivity, that's important. And the biggest thing, I think, is learning to have confidence, right? Learning to have confidence, looking people in the eyes, walking a little faster, talking with that self-confidence is huge because people feel that. So next thing, become a pro at setting appointments. Become a pro at setting appointments. You get people to set and attend appointment by creating interest, right? Through friendship, curiosity, need, and greed. More information is not always needed. When you give people information, so when you're setting an appointment, right? If let's see who else is on here. Aloyet, you're setting an appointment with somebody and you say, hey, I'd like to stop over. Maybe it's a referral. Maybe your neighbor said, hey, you need to talk to my brother. So you call their brother. And what I would say in that situation, because your neighbor might have said, right, they need help with their finances. I'm not going to call the brother and say, hey, your brother told me that you're really struggling and need help with your finances. That's not going to create interest. But Joe, what I might do is call them and say, hey, I recently met with your brother. He was really excited about the information that I had to share. And he told me that you are somebody who's really focused on your financial future. Is that true? Joe, how do you answer that?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you going to say, no, I suck?
No,
Of course it's true. And they might say, well, what is it that you do? We provide financial education. We meet with middle class families and teach the things that we should have been taught in school. Were you ever taught in school about how to get out of debt and how to invest your money for the future, Joe?
definitely not in school. No,
Definitely. Do you think that it's something that should be probably taught in school?
absolutely.
Joe, that's exactly what I do. So I want to make sure that I can prioritize time in my schedule for you and your spouse. I've got some time later this week or next week. What works better for you?
This week, let's do it.
Right? I'm not saying to Joe, well, let me tell you, do you have life insurance? Maybe we could save you money on your life insurance. How about investments? Should we're not doing that when we book the appointment, you guys. We need to book the appointment based on getting them excited through either friendship, curiosity, need, or greed. Okay? So the only way this business can be explained properly is through the use of visual aids. 100%. Now, can you write out the rule of 72 on a napkin? You sure can. You got to get good at it to do that. I bet you Demorial can do that, right? I would guess that he's done that before. Writing out the rule of 72. That's the technician thing to do. So we're going to talk about the law of large numbers. And we know you can't beat the numbers, but the numbers can't beat you. The reason I fell in love with the numbers is because I realized it didn't matter how bad I was or how good I was. Eventually, the numbers are going to work. So, Joe, I'm excited to have Joe come up. You know, the first time that Joe and I did an appointment together, I don't know, a little over a year ago, you could tell he was at a different point in the business, just really learning, wanting to immerse himself in learning. And in the last year plus, I have watched him master this stuff. Literally in a year, he has mastered this stuff enough to be able to, with what he knows now, is going to take him to become a regional vice president. I know that. And he's learned the numbers and how they work, and he's seeing it in action. So, Joe, I'm excited to hear from you, my friend.
Let's go, Dr. Joe. Come on, man. Beast
Right
mode for
on. Good
sure.
evening. Good evening. Oh, good. Good evening. Good evening. The law of large numbers. We definitely can't beat the numbers. We, like Geli said, we have to fall in love with the numbers because, you'll hear, I'm in this business here. You'll hear it a million times. The numbers just are the numbers. It is what it is. We can't run from it. We got to embrace it. So if we want to be successful in this business, got to fall in love with the numbers. Have to do the numbers. I heard it from someone recently in the business, with the analogy of a farmer, right? And a lot of he was saying a lot of Primerica people are good farmers, right? You might go out into the field, right, and throw a handful of seed into a large field, right? Water it and walk back at home, and then wonder why you don't have a lot of crops, right? We've got to get good at being good farmers, right? If we want to have a huge crop, then we've got to take time to plant the whole field, right, to reap that huge harvest. And here's the same thing with the numbers, right? We can't do one or two appointments and then look up at the end of the month and expect to get promoted,
Absolutely.
right? It just is what it is. So as far as the numbers, right? We want to try to get on every time we get on eight qualified appointments, right? Eight qualified appointments, right? Out of those eight qualified appointments, five, right, will want to sit down and do an F&A with us, right? F&A really important. Like Gilly said earlier, F&A Fridays, right? 1 p.m. on Fridays. Come learn about that F&A, right? If we're doing those eight qualified appointments and we're getting five F&A carrybacks, we want to be proficient in the F&A, right? If we're not proficient in F&A, we're not going to get the three qualified clients out of those five carrybacks, right? So eight qualified appointments, five F&A carrybacks. Out of those five, we'll get three qualified clients, right? And one new recruit. again, if we're trying to build, we need the recruits, right? So if we want that one recruit, we've got to get on 8 qualified appointments, right? Again, the numbers are the numbers, right? Out of that as well, we'll get 6 securities or any of the other products, right? Involved. If we get people, to get securities or get any of the products, right? That's going to lead to more referrals, right? People are more comfortable referring us if they are, clients of ours, right? And then we also have to get good at getting referrals, right, from each client, right? To continue to grow and to continue building and booking more appointments, we got to meet with more people, right? And just the easy source, right, is getting good at getting appointments, getting referrals from the appointments we're on. All right. Now, as far as recruiting interviews set, right? A lot of these, the big builders in this business are getting a lot of these using social media, right? So we need to get good at expanding, our our clientele, right, through social media, right? So, the numbers as far as that, 10 recruiting appointments, 10 recruiting interviews set, will lead to four prospects will show up, right? 6 people won't even show up. They'll set an appointment with you, and 6 out of that 10 you'll never hear from again, right? So if we want to get on those 4 appointments, you got to set 10. The numbers are the numbers, right? Out of those 4 that show up, 1 will be a new recruit and get started, right? And that's a new master list to work through, right? Gilly went through that as far as that master list, right? From new recruits, right? So if we want to get that 1 recruit and get that 1 new master list, right, to get on some new warm market appointments and do some closes, we got to set 10 appointments just to get that 1. The numbers are the numbers. So, building that big team, building that big base shop, we need to start double-digit recruiting to be able to do that, right? 10 team recruits in a 30-day period is double-digit recruiting. For us to get where we want to get individually as a team, as team catalysts, right? We have to get to the point where we're consistently recruiting double-digit numbers. 10 team recruits, 4 teammates will get licensed and become a reliable part-timer. It just is what it is, right? Out of those 10 team recruits, 6 are going to fall off, right? The numbers are the numbers. Out of those 4 that get licensed, 1 will be a go-getter and sprint right to district, right? The other ones are going to need some more encouraging, some more coaching, right, to bring along slowly. But out of those 4, 1 will be a go-getter, sprint right to district. They will help you recruit and build, right, and eventually become a full-time teammate, right? So again, I hope you're all taking notes. The numbers are the numbers. This is what we have to fall in love with, right, to get to where we want to get to, right? If you have a goal in this business, write this down, take notes, remember it, right? And let's get after those numbers. You were
Thank
saying
you,
something,
Joe.
Gilly?
I do. I have a question for you. As you've been
Sure.
really going after the numbers, you've been, right, getting after it. You've had a decent number of recruits in the last 60 to 70 days. So during that time frame, what did you see with the people that you were bringing on to into the business, right? People who said, "Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm fired up. I'm ready. I'm going to be your next superstar." Have you seen this in action personally?
The numbers are the numbers. It just is what it is, right? Most, it sounds great in the beginning, but they're gone, right? Never heard from them again. I had a couple people get started last month. Um, they're
They get
not on this
abducted by
meeting, I'll tell you
aliens.
that.
They get
Yeah, I'll tell you
abducted by
that.
aliens. Like
Yeah,
that's
they're not
a
on this.
big,
They're not on this meeting right now.
right?
Um,
And
but the numbers are the numbers. So, out of those, all those recruits, right, you might have 1 or 2 that are still sticking around, right, that are still studying to get their license and so forth. It just is what it is. But the answer is always recruit more people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. You did a great job. Again, we earn the opportunity, right? We earn the opportunity to do this because for those of us who are getting after it. So everybody give Joe a hand, please.
Let's go, Joe.
We appreciate you. That was amazing. And would you agree that if everybody that you recruited had the confidence and the belief in themselves, that they would have not quit?
Absolutely.
Do you
Absolutely.
think probably the number one reason that people don't continue in business isn't because the business doesn't work, isn't because you didn't, right? You did the same thing with the people that you got to get to sprint to district that you did for the people who left the next day, right? You did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So a big part of it, I mean, I could be wrong, but my guess is that a big part of it is their personal self-belief.
Mm.
It's personal. It is what it is. If 'cause we know the business works, right? We know the business works if you work the business, right? So people most times don't even give themselves a chance, and that's a personal thing.
Mm.
But let me ask you, did you have all that belief initially when you got started?
No, no. I knew enough to get started, but um, had to come along. Had to learn some more of the business. Had to do that self improvement, and slowly come along. So we don't all have to get in and sprint right to district, right? That's not a rule, right? That doesn't have to be. It won't be everyone's story. It wasn't mine, right? But if we stick around, right, and if we show up, right, we give ourselves an opportunity to get better, and to succeed in this business.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That's
Taylor,
damn good, Joe.
thank you. We appreciate that. I'm trying to get the next presentation up, but if you're able to do that instead, that would be amazing.
Got you up there.
Mine's just spinning, so.
Lori, good seeing you on.
Hey,
Freaking
Lori.
champ. Seeing her
Hello.
coach.
Hey,
Seeing
Lori.
her coach. I love it. All
Yes,
right, I got you up here.
just coming from work.
All right. Well, we appreciate you being on. All right. So, funny thing is, we're going to talk about self-belief. In case you were wondering where that transition was coming from. So, this, I believe, is the key to showing a brand new person how to see success in business, is by instilling in them some self-belief. And obviously, they have to instill it in themselves, right? It's going to have to be something that we do. If we're struggling with, I don't know if I can, I don't know if I can talk to people, right? I don't know if I could be good like Joe. I don't know if I could close like that. We all wonder those same things, and it takes some work to make it happen. So go ahead, Taylor. So let's talk about self-belief. It's having faith in yourself that you can accomplish tasks and achieve your goals, also known as self-efficacy. Fancy schmancy word. So why is it important? I love that. I love that I can't to I can. Are we missing number one? Where'd it go? There we go. So number one, self-belief empowers decision making, fuels persistence through challenges. Please, if you've not ever had a challenge, unmute and let us know today, right? If you haven't had a challenge today. Most of us are dealing with challenges every single day, right? Some of them are major, physical challenges, right? Some of them are major relational challenges or financial challenges. We're all experiencing something. And what gets some people through to the other side where others feel stuck? And that is that self-belief. It's the belief that I have what it takes to overcome this. For everybody on, we feel alone sometimes in our challenges. Most of the time, we feel alone in our challenges. And especially in this business, we can feel like that. Oh, it feels like everybody's talking about how great Joe's doing, or how great Sean's doing, or how great Taylor's, whatever. Everybody, right? We look at other people and we think they don't understand us. They don't experience what I experience. If they only knew. But self-belief says, I might experience these challenges. I might struggle with maybe some depression or some anxiety, and I'm still able to get to that other side. I'm still able to overcome that hurdle. Okay? Just know that. Somebody in Primerica has seen success while going through something you're going through. And that might feel cold, and it's not ever meant to. But there are so many stories of people that have experienced success here that were in massive struggle. But we don't know it until they get to the other side, right? The next one, enhances leadership and influence. If we can't give what we don't have, we can't give what we don't have. So how can we be a leader and show belief, put belief into others if we don't have it, right? We fill from an overflowing cup. So what does that mean? We have to learn and study and read and grow how to have self-belief so we can then help others. Number 4, builds resilience against setbacks. We already talked about that with challenges. It helps us get through them faster. And number 5, creates a strong foundation for success. Go ahead, Taylor. So, how to develop self-belief. Okay, this is something, if you're got a pen and paper in front of you, please take some notes, because this is the answer. This is how we've done it. And none of us are perfect in this, and we all have to grow. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But the first one, how to develop self-belief. Stay as far away from negative, dull, disillusioned, daggum crybabies. And if they live in your inner circle or in your home, just have some boundaries, right? Because it's imperative that we understand we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. We just are. So look at those 5 people, look at where they're at, and do they believe in themselves? And do they believe in you? Right? For a lot of us, Primerica pulled us out of that. For me, I went to meetings twice a week before I was making a ton of money for a long time, because they were people that I wanted to be in alignment with. I'd never spent time in a room with somebody who made $300,000, $400,000, $600,000 a year. Not that money
Right.
is everything, but they walk different, don't they?
Yes, for sure.
If you see someone walk in the room
Mm-hmm.
who's seen some success as a regional leader, a regional vice president, and you know, maybe they've got the watch or they've got the ring, do they talk different?
For
Do they
sure.
look in your eyes different?
Mm-hmm.
What do you
Yep.
guys notice about them?
They're
Taylor,
magnetic.
what?
Confidence.
Magnetic, for sure.
Confidence.
Absolutely. And so if we want to be like that, we have to expose ourselves to those people. So why, Lori, right after work, do you plug into this meeting? I hope because it helps you have more belief in yourself when you see other people just like you who are seeing success or who are experiencing some struggle, right? Oh, that person struggled taking the exam, right? I didn't personally pass my securities exam on the first try, right? So when other people are going through that, we can say, hey, this isn't, it might not be super easy, but you can do it. Minimize negativity from yourself and others. Yourself. Sometimes I'm proud of my husband, right? I'm proud of my husband. He was here. We had our youngest here over the weekend hanging out with us, who's 25. And he'd made a negative comment about himself in front of our youngest and stopped and said, no, Chris, don't say that about yourself.
Let's go,
Right?
coach.
And that's effort. That is coming from
That's
plugging in
awesome.
with you guys, because it wasn't me. Now it's been a long time of me saying those things. Don't talk about my friend that way. Don't talk to somebody I love that way. You right? That is important. If you hear other people that you care about shit talking, you got to say, do not talk like that about yourself, because you don't know if it's true. Well, people say all the time, well, I'm just joking, just teasing, some of us do that. In certain situations, it's okay. But if we say things like, I'm a slow learner, right? I'm a bad reader, right, Joe? Who's a good reader, Joe?
I am now.
He's the best on the team.
Right? Consistent connection with your coach. If you're new in business, Lori, it's important you reach out to Joe on a regular basis. Ty, Tree, you reach out to Taylor on a regular basis, right? We shouldn't always wait for people to reach out to them. If we're struggling, we need to say, hey, coach, I need you. Taylor, has there been moments that you've said that to me? Hey, I'm struggling. I need you to pour belief in me.
100%.
There's times still that I reach out to my coaches and say the same thing. You don't got to do this alone. Attend weekly trainings to build confidence in your business and skills. The more you plug in, the more you understand. Denise has not ever been through a securities class. We'll be across the kitchen table with somebody, because Denise and I go on we'll do appointments together. Somebody will ask about a Roth IRA and she's spouting out all about the Roth IRA. And it's because of plugging into meetings that happens, right? You guys, this is it. Stay connected with teammates through Telegram for encouragement. We see that. We see all the same people getting recognized, We want to get recognized. How good does it feel to get recognized? We all want that. We all have a flashing sign on our chest that says, make us feel special. Right? Everybody wants that. And sometimes people will be like, well, I'm not into all that hype. Okay. You might not be, but I can tell you, when you get somebody else's, and when you get that recognition, it still feels good. And so sometimes if you don't need that from Telegram, somebody else does. You might be the person who recognizes somebody who somebody else recruited, and you made an impact in them.
Yeah.
Affirmations and positive self-talk. I know it's silly, but you got to be weird to win. Okay. What's accepted is accepted for a reason, because we've been trained certain ways. We've been trained that certain things are outside of the box or are weird, like affirmations and positive self-talk and visualization and all of this. This is what, if anybody's read Think and Grow Rich, put a 1 in the chat. Have you read Think and Grow Rich?
For sure.
Right? I have as well. It wasn't a super easy read for me. Thank you tomorrow, Erica. Yeah, that's right. It is awesome reading it now. Like, it's a great book, but the book was written because the author interviewed hundreds of successful people. What was it written, like in the 20s or the 30s, right?
20s, I think.
Thank you, Aloy. But interviewed hundreds of people. And what did they come up with? Affirmations, positive self-talk, visualization with emotions. This stuff isn't new. right? People have been doing this for 100+ years. So don't worry about somebody seeing you. Sit down and look yourself in the mirror and say, "Hey, I'm special. I'm somebody, people like me," right? I don't, whatever your affirmation is, have one and make sure it's not negative,
Right.
right? I walk and talk like a regional vice president. I move in the room with confidence. People are attracted to my magnetic personality. I don't know what you
Right.
got to say. I don't say those things, but some people might need to. But I do say a lot of things every day. I'm healthy and wealthy, and right. I have a long list of affirmations. And Chris will walk into the bathroom, and I'll be looking in the mirror, giving my affirmations to myself, singing my little songs, and doing my thing that I do. And he walks in, shakes his head, laughs at me. It's okay. I don't care because it freaking works. Taylor, visualization with emotions attached to your goals. Tell me, please share with everybody what you told me the other day about this.
I've been doing affirmations for a long time. Writing my goals down for a long time in Primerica. But my frustration would come, I believe, because I would be doing the work, but for some reason it wouldn't connect. And it wasn't until you truly taught me the power of visualization, taking a moment to sit in silence, being in touch with how I'm feeling, as even though that's kind of like that's a new thing for me right there. It's, it still makes me feel kind of weird, but um actually visualizing what my future looks like and then attaching like how I actually feel as if it's already happening, that's really been effective. There's been things that I have visualized last year that has come to fruition without me realizing how I was going to get it done because of that. And so, yeah, the past year and a half, it feels like I've achieved more through that than the past 10 years of me writing my goals down and stuff like that. And so it's very, very powerful. It's definitely outside of my comfort zone for sure, but I'm appreciative for absolutely.
And I'm appreciative that you took a chance and did it because it's you that did it. Do you remember the conversation that we had when I asked you to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Um, I definitely pushed back. There was, I didn't really know. I was actually frustrated. I probably expressed my frustration, but I didn't know what you meant when you were like, you're supposed to feel it, you're supposed to attach the emotions and stuff, but trying it out and then hearing when you told me that you were visualizing it as well with me, that is what made me be like, okay, I'm gonna try this because you believed it. You believed in my goals in that moment more than I believed in it for myself, and that motivated me to try it. And so, yeah, that makes me emotional, so thank you for that. Really, I appreciate it a lot. Does that I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah.
Sorry, the Zoom kicked me out here for a second, but I did hear
Oh
you.
yeah. You heard me,
Um,
okay. Oh, because of Chris, yeah. Um, yeah, does that
no,
answer your question?
it absolutely, absolutely it does. And I remember that conversation, and that's why I asked, because I remember feeling the fight, the the right? And so this is for
Yeah,
everybody, right? This is none of us are outside of this when our coach tells us or encourages us to do something. I felt that fight in you to be like,
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
right?
I
And
felt like I was throwing a fit for sure because I was corny. I was throwing a fit, that's to be honest. It's because I could do the affirmations looking in the mirror and stuff. I could be confident and everything like that, but feeling my feelings and working through the emotions, that's not a challenge in business. That is Coach Geli was challenging me and continuously challenges me to work on my personal self. And that right there is that's a fight. We're working on that. So thank you for believing
awesome.
in me for
Thank
sure.
you. Thank you. And what does that look like, right? What does that look like? So, Joe, for you, what it would look like is is the day you give your notice. The day you give your notice and you
Oh
say,
man.
I'm retired. And how is that going to feel knowing that you don't have to worry about just living off that pension, right? Instead, you're going to know that you're a regional vice president, promoting regional vice presidents, on your way to
Oh yeah.
becoming a full owner and $1 million earner when that happens. And so putting yourself in that situation and what it's going to feel like, right? Ty, what it's going to feel like. Absolutely, Lori. It's going to feel great. What is it going to feel like when you're there and you know that financially you never have to worry ever again because you've got it, because you've got a business. So let's talk a little bit more, a couple other points, self-development through books, videos, and audio, right? Focus on business, leadership, people skills, emotional intelligence, mental health. These are some things, right? We want to have self-belief in all areas. And yet it will elevate your business to have a better emotional IQ or EQ, right?
Yeah.
It's going to help your business to learn people skills and leadership skills. It's going to help your business to get your mental health in check. And so because we're whole people, right? We don't just have our personal life and our business life. If you want to have a successful business, you've got to grow yourself to be a successful individual, right? In all areas.
Right.
So read, listen to Audible, watch YouTube videos. And then the next one here, practice, drill, and rehearse with teammates. This is how you improve quickly. The thing most people are scared about, right? Most people are afraid to sit with their coach and do a presentation. Let me tell you, the reason Joe spoke today is because when Joe decided he was going to do 100 appointments within a year, he asked for a coach to be on those appointments with him until he was good enough. That's what it takes to win, you guys. If you think, oh, I'm just going to practice, drill, and rehearse to myself, that's going to be helpful. But if you allow someone else to help critique you and to help encourage you in the areas you're struggling in, you're going to get there 1,000 times faster. That's what winners do. So if you're unwilling, whatever you're unwilling to do, change that and make sure you're willing to. Practice and drill and rehearse with your spouse, with your kids, with your roommate, with your best friend, and with yourself. Record it, watch it, do the uncomfortable things. Plug into Drill for Skill, plug into F&A Fridays, right? I put Erica and Aloyet on the spot on Friday. Absolutely, your blessing is in the things you're unwilling to do. And it was uncomfortable. Erica, I put you on the spot on F&A Friday. Was that a little bit uncomfortable?
Absolutely.
Did you feel yourself growing?
Yes.
Right? That's what it's about. That's awesome. Thank you. Here's the key, right? You want to see success in business. You want to have that belief. We've got to start with doing it. Every single person on this call could do a presentation. Because you've observed them. If you were on with somebody else, Erica, Demorel, you would kill that. I know that. I know I've watched Demorel do them, right? It's amazing. Sean and Janice, you would do amazing.
Yep.
But as Ty doing a presentation, you could do it because you've been observing. And every single time you do it, you get better and better. Tree, you can do it because you've been observing Taylor. Continue to get better. Lori, you're ready.
For sure.
Right? We just need to do it. So let's learn how to just do it.
I believe desire and will to win is everything. I don't know why I'm like I am, but my butt's always burning. There's always something say, Art, dadgummit, you're supposed to go for it. Art, dadgummit, you're supposed to be somebody. You're supposed to make a difference with your life. What does the $500,000 a year person do? The $50,000 a year person doesn't do. You look at the outside and study those two individuals, everything seems to be the same. They both are the same sex, they both are the same age, they have the same training, the same positions, the same contract, the same fringe benefits. They both are successful, they work hard, they're good family people, make tough commitments. But what's the difference? What does the $500,000 a year person do? The $50,000 a year person doesn't do. He pays the price and a little bit more. He works hard and a little bit more. He's loyal to the company and a little bit more. He believes in a little bit more. He makes money and a little bit more. He saves money and a little bit more. If you want to win in these United States, you got to be tough and you can't quit. The last thing I'll talk to you about today in building this winning edge is, folks, if you want to win in business, you got to be a leader. Leadership is everything. You show me anything in these United States that win, I'll show you a leader at work. You show me a successful church, Boy Scout troop, club, football team, business, I'll show you something run by a leader. See, I thought at one time in my life you had to be smart to win. I used to have these smart people that dress so pretty and talk so pretty and use these big words. They just intimidated me, and I said, Art, you can't ever be that good. Why don't you just throw in the towel and go on back and coach football for a living? And I found two things out about smart people. I think it's almost impossible for a smart person to win in business in America today. Because I find smart people spend their whole lifetime figuring things out. They always trying to figure out an easier way and a quicker way. And another thing I found out about smart people is they just don't get around to doing nothing. And see, somebody like Art Williams, everybody said, well, he can't do it. And somebody like that can't do it. But he does it. See, folks, I want you to know almost everybody in America almost does enough to win. They almost get there. They almost are over the hump. They almost have it going. They almost in everything they do, almost is a way of life to almost everybody in America. But the winners do it. What do? They do whatever it takes to get the job done. They do it, and do it, and do it, and do it, and do it, until the job gets done. And then they talk about how great it is to be somebody they're proud of. We need leaders in America who can do it. If you want to become somebody, do it. If you want to go in business for yourself, do it. If you want to become financially independent, do it. I hear too much talk in these United States. Everybody can talk a good game. We need people in America who can do it. I go all over this country with A.L. Williams, and I have people say, Art, you can count on me. Wonderful. Just do it. Art, I guarantee you this is my last stop. I'm going to win now. Super duper. Just do it. Art, if I could just have one good month and get the ball going, I know I could make it big. Super. Just do it. Art, if I could just pay off this debt, I could really go. Great. Just do it. Art, if I could just sell my house. Do it. But houses ain't selling. Do it anyway. Art, I'm not making any money. What can I do? You just do it. Do what, Art? You do it, and do it, and do it. Art, I guarantee I'm going to win this contest. Super duper. Just do it. Art, I'm over the hump now. Watch my smoke. Great. Just do it. Art, I want to make it so bad I can taste it. What I do? You just do it. Art, I'm a vice president now. Can I quit doing it? No. Art, I don't know if I can keep on keeping on. I'm really hurting. What I do? You just do it. Do what, Art? You do it, and do it, and do it. Art, all my life I wanted to be somebody important. Well, what do it then? Art, I'm going to save money so I don't have to go through this again. Great. Just do it. Art, I don't feel like I've had enough training. What I do? You just do it. Art, my manager don't give me no help. What I do? You just do it. Art, you don't understand. I was Mr. Everything in my former company. You don't mean I have to start off down at the bottom and do it, do you? Yep, you really got to do it. Art, what's the primary difference between winners and losers? The winners do it. They do it, and do it, and do it, and do it, until the job gets done. And then they talk about how great it is to finally have achieved something need, and how glad they are that they didn't quit like everybody else, and how wonderful it is to finally be somebody they're proud of and make a difference with their life. Thank you.
Let's freaking go.
So, coming from the founder of our company, right? Now I have the privilege to bring up the power couple, Erica and Demorel. Demorel, who is retired military, he's getting after it. The technician of the team is amazing at teaching and coaching and helping. And Erica, our wonderfully amazing office manager, who is so, I can tell you how much I love her and what she's doing for our team right now. I'm so excited to have you close out the meeting today. Both of you talking about what's happening now. I know this is weird. We used to start, now we're ending with it. We're just seeing what happens. And so thank you to both of you guys. And if I heard somewhere, it might be an anniversary coming up soon. So happy anniversary to this beautiful couple. And we are thankful for you. Take it away with what's happening now.
Go.
Let's go. Thank you, everybody. You know, I love everybody's beautiful faces on camera. And yes, 14 years. So we don't have any advice. I'm so sorry. But so let's
just do it.
Just do it. That's our advice. But what we're going to be doing is what's happening now. I know we usually do it in the beginning, but we're trying something new. So yay us.
What's out?
Yep. Let's get it. Let's see if I can click the button. Okay. So we're talking about weekly study sessions. Thank you, Yvette, for doing the SIE study group. She is doing amazing. She does it every week religiously. If you're on the chat, you know that she is with it. She is doing it, and she does it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Central Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 90-day cycle with Coach Dennis. Now, if you don't know, have never seen Coach Dennis, you're gonna know exactly who he is when you
right
into that meeting. He requires cameras on, he requires pen in hand, and you're gonna have a good time. And if you're not gonna have a good time, I promise you're not gonna be in the meeting. Now, Geli and Chris, they do a financial needs analysis Fridays. That is at 12 p.m. Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, if you do not know anything about an FNA, if you know everything about an FNA, I promise you, you're going to learn something, and you're going to be put on the spot, and it's going to be great. RVP University is Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can screenshot this, but we also post this in the meeting in the Telegram chat. And if you are not available, or if you have teammates that have not done a Saturday RVP University with us, we encourage you to do this. Tuesdays are great. Saturdays is pumped. It gets you ready for the weekend. You know, you probably don't have to work. You about to go talk to your friends. This is something to get you the information where you want to be able to talk to them. All right, so I'm gonna bring up hubby so he can do the company incentives.
Let's go, D.
All right, guys. So you know the company want to give you some stuff, some cool swag and stuff like that. So right here, I know a lot of people see 2%er, but I don't say 2%er. I want you to remember, I said 2%. You see the right here? See, that's the So you remember it. So when you get your shirt, it's gonna have a big on it. 2%. So you want to get this shirt just so you can walk around, and when I see you, I'm gonna say, yo, you a 2%. So y'all go work for this shirt just so you can hear me say that to you in person. It's funny. Guys. So 2%ers are no excuse powerhouses. Let me tell you what that is. They beat the other 98% with a growth mindset, and they consistently do what it takes to improve each day until they win. You got to practice and practice and practice and go over and over. And and like Art said, just do it, and it's going to happen. So when you become a 2%er and you score a shirt, this is what you have to do. You got to personally do this. Become life licensed. So any of you who don't have a life license yet, get the life license, and when I see you, I'm gonna say, look at you, you a 2%er. All you gotta do is get a license. And what you're gonna get, you're gonna get a chance to pick between two of these shirts right here. And then you can choose the polo or the t-shirt, whichever one you like. But that's some more money. When you get that shirt, the company has an incentive right now for life and securities license and flicks.
Oh,
So this is how you qualify. The company incentive. You complete your pre-licensing within 30 days of your IBA. So if you just did the IBA, you got 30 days. All you got to do is complete the pre-license. Guys, I know people who've done it overnight. I'm just saying, I don't know how they did it, but I've seen it do it. But that's $100. So complete that, within your first 30 days. Hey, but it's okay. Also, the way you get some more money is you pass the SIE Series 663. And you just submit $1,000 in security production before the end of this month, September 30th. You get a $350 bonus.
Let's
Guys,
go.
by the way, when you get that license, everybody you probably meet with will want to open up an IRA outside of work. So you can get the number really quickly. Just want to hit you on that. And now here we have Universal Studios. They added some slots, okay? And this qualification period is August 30th to November 2024. And guys, in order to win this is what you got to do. How many of y'all, by show of hands, rode a roller coaster before?
yes, reluctantly.
Right. You rode a roller coaster. When you got up to that high point and you knew you was ready to make that drop,
Yes.
your gut sank, but you didn't have a choice, you had to do it anyway.
Yeah.
That's what prospecting feel like. But if you do that, get that feeling in your stomach, you can actually win this trip and go have that feeling in your
That's
stomach.
good, Memorial. Damn, that's
Oh,
good.
here you go, your RVPs and above. What you need? Oh, well, hold on. Let me move a little too fast there. So they added the slots they added 95 RVPs and above slots, regional leaders 24, division and below 15, and licensed leaders 30. So there's some more slots added. And guess what? It's not hard to win this thing. You just go out and do it. Like Art say, you make it happen. So double September premium credit for Life Insurance Awareness Month. Y'all, let me say that again. Double September premium credit. It's double credit now. You remember in school we got double credit, right? Now, because September's Life Insurance Month, 2% September. You do this, all life premium, October 30th the month in, you're going to get this. Double BPs for life credit towards your season 3 of September. Meaning they're going to give you more points, double, to go to that park, the Universal Studios, so you can get the gut feeling, because you had that gut feeling, right? We're going to call it. You get that gut feeling, I had that gut feeling. All right.
All righty. Thank you for that. Our next big event. Now, if you do not know what does anybody know what our next big event is? Courtney, do you? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Courtney.
Do you know what our next big event is? It is the East Coder Builder School. It is 24 days away. That is less than a month. Let's go. If you are not going, if you had no plans on going, you have 24 days to change your mind, as well as if you have not bought your tickets, you need to go ahead and get that and purchase that. All right. And it is going to be October 11th and October 12th. It's going to be in a very pretty church. And we're going to try not to cuss. That's what everybody says, which is I love it. Special guests, we have the three couples here. All of them are amazing. If they do not, meet your fancy, we have 6 more. Listen, we got 6 more that's going to be Andy and Brittany Onstead. They are hilarious, but they are powerful in their speaking. If you know of any of these, I would recommend going on your POL, looking them up, looking specifically for their name, so you can get to know them. So when you are listening to their story and you are hearing from them, you can maybe hopefully resonate with them. Are you a beast? There is a second chance to qualify for the 3x3. If you do 3x3,000 personal, you can get an exclusive dinner with a team of Destiny RVPs. We already have somebody who has qualified for that. Congratulations. We love that for you. And we cannot wait to just hear from them. Alrighty. This month is all gas, no brakes. Alrighty. It's October 1st at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Central Standard Time. I'm trying to learn the time zones.
You're doing good. You're
Okay.
Mhm.
These time zones is taking me out slowly, okay?
Me
But
too, Erica. Me too.
solid.
Central Standard Time, okay? So what we are at, we are halfway. We are 2 weeks in, people.
Yeah.
We are one recruit and $1,500 in premium now. We need 29 by 19,000 in premium. And I am a believer that the majority of business happens in the last 2 weeks. It always happens like this. We're getting out of August. We're just transitioning into it's gotten a little cooler. Everybody's working at the pumpkin spice and all that. It's time to get it's time to break out your comfortability or getting uncomfortable with being uncomfortable. Well, being comfortable with being uncomfortable. So, and as we are working on that, our mindset needs to change. Our mindset needs to be more of a building mindset, building monumental things with your team. If you have not reached out to your teammates, your downlines, your sidelines, this would be the perfect time to do that. Building momentum within your community, within your team, outside of your team, building your team is important. And if we haven't done that, we need to go ahead and do that because we need to double-digit recruit people. Come on, DDR. Let's say it together.
Right. DDR, baby. We need that.
DDR.
DDR. It's important. Double-digit recruit for the newest person. Sorry. It is crunch time. And just like Art said, just do it. So I just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. It's been amazing seeing everybody's faces. It's been amazing just being able to talk to everybody. And then Junior Brokers, would you just stay on for a few more minutes?
Let's
That
do
was
it. Let's go,
awesome.
guys.
Thank you to Marl and Erica. We appreciate the team leading tonight. That was awesome. Love having both your faces on.
Love it. Good job, y'all. Great job, you guys.
Thank you for everybody who was on tonight. We appreciate
Good
it.
job, Ty.
I can't teach you to want it. Everyone in this room is going to win. The matter is when you're ready. Some of you guys are in this game right now in this room, but you're not in the
Great
hunt.
job, Tree, for being on.
In anything, especially in our business, you're the catalyst.
Frustrations of fertilizer great
Come
are made
on.
out of. But what I've learned is that when you can break down that wall or you break down that barrier, man, and success is on the other side of that. And what we teach in our hierarchy is lesson learned, changes made.
All I want to know is who's ready to hunt. Who's ready to hunt? Who's ready to hunt?
Come on.
Why would you spend one waking minute of anything in your life outside of building a perpetual money machine? Why? Because you know what? In year 1, they laugh at you. In year 5, they ask you how you did it. Well, I can